Well, today we truly have something special. We are in the 2020 AMG GT63S. This is an AMG exclusive car. It's meant to be the four-door version of the AMG GT sports car. It is nothing short of a four-door supercar. This thing is amazing. The breadth of performance here is absolutely insane. I love the design, I love the way it looks, the way it drives and feels is just, I think AMG is making the best driver's cars these days. Right up there with Porsche. And in this video, I just want to show you what this thing is like to experience, because it's bonkers. 630 horsepower, 664 pound-feet of torque, all-wheel drive. There is a rear-wheel drive drift mode, but it's pretty chilly out this morning. Not sure we'll experiment with that. You get these massive Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires, 315 sections in the rear, 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds. Oh man, look at it. It's insane. In the back, you have a fastback design, which is great for cargo storage. If you get an executive package, I believe you can fold the rear seats down. Otherwise, though, there's tons of space in here. Pretty nice. Definitely got to swing for the wing option on this. Carbon ceramic brakes. This particular test car is $199,000. A few weeks ago, we had the BMW M8, and that was $175 grand. I kind of thought it was a $175,000 yawn fest. It just didn't deliver, and this delivers. So you can get this in a bunch of different iterations. This is, of course, the most expensive and hardcore and fastest. But, I mean, if you've got the change, this is worth it. Every seat is kind of a bucket seat in this. It all keeps you in. This does hold the Nürburgring record for the fastest four-seater, which is exciting. Let's show you under the hood here too. Not a whole lot to look at. Lots of plastic, pretty tight packaging, if I'm honest. But what a beast. Alright, without further ado, let's take it for a drive. It's great that we've been getting into a lot of AMG products lately. Like all of them, this has various different exhaust modes and settings. My favorite is race. But let's start off in comfort, and we'll go from there. Pretty standard AMG ergonomics in here. This is very similar to the AMG GT with the center area. All of these screens are customizable. You can make this your exhaust loud and quiet button, but you can also make it your transmission, your AMG dynamics, your traction control, your shock setting button. I love the customizability here. The ergonomics are really quite good for changing everything and adjusting everything, and honestly, all you need is this one dial to change the drive modes. The touchscreen is a little bit finicky and tedious to use, but it works. You get around and you can adjust some of the sensitivities. We're going to leave it on Waze, Apple CarPlay. Keep an eye out for officers of the law. My only real complaint ergonomically is this shifter, this gear selector, is put way far back, and it's a little bit awkward to reach sometimes, but not a big deal. We have our temperatures up. It's chilly, like I said. Tires are not quite up to temp yet, but we should still have a decent amount of grip. So I mentioned at the beginning of this video that I was just impressed by the absolute performance breadth of this car. It is so wide. This can be comfortable. It can be quite nice as a luxury vehicle, but at the same time, you get supercar levels of performance here. Just absolutely insane grip, acceleration, cornering ability, emotional driving experience. It's just awesome. We'll put it into Sport Plus here, and even in these more hardcore modes, it's still pretty livable. The ride quality doesn't suffer that much. All of your inputs are just about perfect. The paddle shifters have this really satisfying click to them. The exhaust sounds good. There's a really nice blend of just exhaust note and induction. Oh man. Insane. Insane. Let's do a launch here. Oh my gosh. Wow, you guys. And just left to its own devices in automatic drive mode, this transmission, this 9-speed, is phenomenal. Don't really want much else from a transmission. I think this is one of the best cars I have ever driven. This is in my top 5 for sure. I can't really think of much else that I've driven in the luxury sports supercar segment that comes close to this. Maybe the Ferrari FF, but there's an engagement factor here, a tactility that is just, it's so sharp. It's pretty amazing. So what else do we have here? Well, we have a Burmeister sound system. We'll do a little sound test at the end. We've got all sorts of carbon fiber, beautiful stitching all throughout. A vast assortment of wheel options. You can get AMG's monoblock wheels. These are probably my favorite set of wheels that they offer, just because they have that deep dish look and they look so exotic. Because of the really aggressive Michelin tires on here, there's a little bit of road noise. So you get over some rougher pavement, and there's quite a bit of cabin intrusion over bumps. Wow. Just wow. It's even just great to drive normally in race mode on the street. Get on the highway, smooth pavement, it's quiet, you have good visibility, the cruise control, you can just set that super easily, and of course you get AMG's cool lane centering system. If you put your turn signal on, it'll automatically change lanes, all the good stuff from a modern Mercedes AMG product. It's almost a shame driving this in America. You can't really explore it Otherwise, there's a ton of information here. I have all my temperatures, oil temp, trans temp, tire pressure, tire temperature. Once you get the tire temperatures up and above 100 degrees Fahrenheit, you really get a lot of grip out of this thing. And the other thing you have to know about this car, I mean, it's probably pretty obvious, but everywhere you go, you get looks, you get attention, people are taking photos. This isn't just your normal AMG sedan. It looks like a supercar. And it drives like one. There. The steering feel. And what's kind of ironic about this car is that there are all these fuel-saving measures. So you put it into comfort mode, it'll switch into V4, and it'll give you a little cylinder display on the gauge. And I don't know how much horsepower it makes in V4, but if you cut 630 in half, that's still like 315 horsepower. I'm sure that's not quite the case, but it's always switching into V4 mode to save fuel. You have these front grille vents that will close and open depending on how much airflow the car needs to let in or how much aerodynamic drag it wants to reduce. And there's tons of other fuel-saving measures with this car too. It's amazing how AMG has been able to make this so exciting and so engaging with all the technology that's thrown behind it. The all-wheel drive system here is incredible. The powertrain is just awesome. The more AMG products I drive, the more I think that they are at the top of the game when it comes to driving thrills. Test these carbon ceramics. Ouch. Complaints? None. It attracts too much attention and it's a little bit ostentatious and just showy, but I mean, you're spending a lot of money for this, and you kind of want that at that point. I'm not really sure this is a car you could take everywhere, or that you'd really want to. You have to kind of treat it a little bit more like a supercar, but oh man, it's special. It is really, really something. And it also just goes to show, we've driven a lot of AMG products recently, and there is a consistency in the lineup between models, even models that are $100,000 apart. They feel similar, and I think that just goes to show that there is a quality along the AMG line that is maybe not present in other manufacturers But it just goes to show the quality that they put in their cars and the emotional experience behind them. You kind of can't go wrong. Pick your flavor, pick your budget. This is definitely one of the wilder vehicles that I've driven from them. And as far as driving enjoyment, I'd put this right next to the AMG GT. It is heavier. It's about 1,000 pounds more weight. It's a much larger car. This thing is massive. Barely fits in my garage. But the enjoyment and the thrill and the performance is still here, despite that. Quite an achievement. Alright guys, hopefully that gives you a taste of what this thing is like to hustle. It's pretty mad, kind of difficult to explore the limits on the road. I am truly enjoying driving this thing. We'll give you some more content on this week. We will have some videos up on the Winding Road Magazine channel, and of course other places that we are filming too, like Daily Motor. Park button's a little bit difficult to find, but honestly, when you get into a car like this that drives this way, all these little tiny things like the infotainment and the touchpad and the selector here, all of that doesn't matter anymore. Cool. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this one as much as I did. Thanks for watching. We will see you guys in the next video. Those fans will run for the next half hour. Let's do one more launch here just for fun. Sure doesn't take long. we're just cruising here, let's do a sound system test. You guys get the idea. Here's the real sound system. And when you turn off this screen, an IWC Schaffhausen clock comes up. But it's digital. How wild is that? Cars I just don't want to stop driving. This video is going to be an hour.